All right. Forgive me if I'm a little rusty. We haven't done these lunch and learns in a few weeks, but I'm really excited. You came to the right one today. So a couple of quick Zoom rules before anybody, if you haven't been here before, or this is your first time, or you haven't been here in a while, then please mute yourself when you're not speaking. We recommend speaker view for presentation. Video sharing is optional, though we love to see all your smiling faces. And please type all questions and comments into the chat. We will have a Q&A at the end as well, where you're welcome to ask any questions. Unmute yourself then. But I'll be keeping an eye out on the chat the whole time. Our guest speakers are typers, and so they will be typing in the chat as well. So you're welcome to interact as much as you like. We welcome that. A quick update from Autism Trees. We're during April, which is Autism Awareness, Acceptance, and the latest term that Otto is using, which I love, is Autism Action Month. So thank you so much to our guest speakers for launching that, taking action, and being our guest speakers today. We have 302 new families that have joined Autism Tree since January 1st of this year, which is just insane to us. We hit a record amount of new families last year, which was 767, and we're already at 300 just in April. So we're definitely on track to exceed that this year. So welcome to all of our new families. We're so happy you're here. We offer 20 programs. If, as you may know, 9 are in person, 7 are hybrids, 4 are virtual. We serve San Diego County and across the United States. And we also have 18 events on our calendar. We constantly update our social media calendars and our calendar on our website. So we have 18 upcoming events between April and the end of May. And you can always follow us at Autism Tree on all of our socials to see what's coming up and to sign up for free for any of our events. So what we happen to have this week, we're very, very excited to, Dana and I are actually flying up to the Bay Area. Dana's actually traveling right now. And we're going to meet in San Jose with our Bay Area families and our community partners. Our longest running community partner, CSR Cares, has been supporting us since 2003. And they are throwing their 7th annual Cars and Caffeine fundraiser benefiting Autism Tree. So we're really excited about that. That's happening this Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's in San Jose. I can't remember the exact location. It's at a church, but you can check our website. If you'd like to join us, if you're in the Bay Area, we would love to meet you there. It's super fun, different exotic cars and coffee for the morning. We will have a silent auction raffle and all of that. We also have our adaptive dance classes, which happen every week. This week is ages 6 through 12, happening at Tap River Studios in Pacific Beach. We also have our cooking class for Autism Tree teens, which I'm really excited about. That's happening this Saturday as well at 1 o'clock at the Therapeutic Recreation Services Center. Our cooking class, they'll be making pizza and what was the other thing? Pizza. What? Dirt cups. Oh, dirt cups. Like it's a dessert, which is super yummy. So that'll be a fun. We have also our PLNU Health Sciences Activity and Pizza Party. So we had an amazing volunteer from Point Loma Nazarene. He's in the Health Sciences Master's Program, and their students want to volunteer with our kids and families. So they're going to be bringing pizza and a bunch of different activities to play at Mission Bay, which I'm really excited about. And also on Sunday, we have our USD baseball home game, which we've partnered with the USD baseball athletics program since 2009. So that's a lot happening this week and this month, because we love, Autism Action Month. We have 590 videos on our YouTube channel. So if you aren't subscribed, you're welcome to. We have 141 of these lunch and learns uploaded onto our YouTube. It's in a playlist, so you can go back and watch this one as well. And without further ado, I'll pass it off to our special guest. This is our 142nd Lunch and Learn. We have the Mod Squad here with us today, Otto, Bella, and William. We go way back with the Mod Squad. They presented at our annual Global Neurodiversity Conference for many years, and Darlene Hanson, speech language pathologist, and then Tim Jin of Disability Voices United. Thank you so much all for being here. We're very excited to listen and learn from you about this new supported decision-making law that came out. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Darlene, and you guys can get started.
Okay. Hello, welcome. We'll do our intros and everything in our presentation. So I'm just going to open up the slide here if I can. Let's see if I do it right. Okay, hang on now. I gotta get this out here. And then open this up. And then make this small so I can see. Now oh wait, it went away, didn't it? Sorry guys. Hang on one second.
There, that looks great.
I know, except I can't see what I need to see. One more second, people, sorry. Okay. What do you see right now?
I see the main slide. Just voices and
You do.
Yeah, the title.
Okay. Hang on, it's not working. Hang on, I'm not doing it right. Sorry, people. Sorry, group. 1 second. I have to figure out how I can see this presentation at the same time as the other presentation. 1 second. We thought we had it all done. And
No worries.
we pressed a button. 1 second.
I love it. I'll just read some stuff in the chat while you're figuring that out, Darlene.
Feel free, please do. I'm gonna figure out how to.
I love Otto said in the chat, the gang's all here. Go Toreros, and let's all do a special congratulations to Otto for getting into USD, the University of San Diego. He's the first typer in the history of USD to get admitted into USD. So I'm so excited. Congrats, Otto. Yay.
Okay, this is what I'm going to try and do, people. 1 second, so I can see everything.
And also, thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks, Sunrise. There, crushing it, dude. Totally agree.
Okay, can you see the slide?
Yes, we can.
Now, hopefully, if I press a button, life's not going to change greatly. Okay, welcome. Our presentation is called Voices Unmuted, and these are going to be the ABCs of SDM. Go ahead and put in the chat if you can, if you even know what SDM is, just for our own curiosity's sake. But I guarantee you by the end, you'll know what SDM is. That's the whole purpose of today. So let's get started on this. Maybe not. Hang on. Running out of room on my screen. Okay, next. All right. Our theme, for those as a visual impairment, for the visually impaired description, is that we're using robots as our icons here. So there are 1, 2, 3, or 5 icons. The slide reads, "The gang's all here. Buckle up for your wild ride." And
slide, these robots are to depict the irony, the cognitive dissonance that is our lives. Far too often, well-meaning people have pre-programmed ideas how we, as disabled people, should live our lives. We are individuals. We are not robots. We want autonomy, agency, and an authentic existence. Bella, let's get this party started.
this slide reads, "What's the problem? If it works, don't fix it. But does the system work for everyone?" And there's a photo of Bella's profile in front of the state capitol stairs.
Hello, everyone. I'll start with some data. There are 1.5 million people across the nation in guardianships. This legal procedure strips individuals of their rights to make decisions about their life. Those with disabilities are the main victims. I know because this happened to me. I was conserved at 18, all because my parents wanted to protect me and because I sometimes needed help with big decisions. At the time, there were no other options to consider. I suspect many of you seek advice or support when making important decisions. The problem is, why can't individuals with disabilities be afforded this same human courtesy without having their rights removed? I, for one, was unaware of the gravity of my loss when I became conserved. Do you know about alternatives to guardianship? I invite you to listen and learn from the lived experience of our esteemed panel. Take it away, William.
This is a slide, a purple slide background stating at the top Mod Squad. There's a five photos. The first one is William, Otto, and Bella standing. There's another one with them sitting as a group in a presentation. There's another one with the three of them standing in the lobby of the state capitol. There's another classroom presentation where they're in a student classroom or library. And the fifth one is a panel discussion on a platform stage.
I'd like to explain that MOD stands for Mastering Our Destiny, showing the world what can be done when given access to communication and the opportunities to use it as our mission. It's funny, we met in a social skills class, but very soon began to challenge our teachers by letting them know we wanted experiences that were real, and we fast became typing friends who planned fun adventures. Each time we go somewhere, we make sure we have our letter boards or different types of AAC. With these tools, we can have real conversations with the community that set the communication expectation. One typer can seem unique, but three together are a force that ignites change.
Let's see, I gotta get this thing going to the next one. Go. There we go. Here we go. Okay. Slide 5. Next slide says, who are we? And it's a photo of William. And it says William Del Rosario.
Hello, my name is William Del Rosario, and I am a Hispanic Filipino male in my 20s from Orange, California, with short black hair, brown eyes, and I wear glasses. I'm also a youth ambassador for the California Center for Youth Voice, Youth Choice, or Civic State Team. I'm a lifelong learner who is currently earning my high school diploma, one letter at a time. I have autism, apraxia, am a multimodal communicator, and use augmentative and alternative communication, or AAC, via typing in my iPad. My passion is to drive change for access to communication, inclusion, and a person-centered life for individuals with disabilities. I believe in society becoming a world of possibilities and invite you to join us in making this happen for everyone. Up next is my dear friend, Otto.
Next slide is a slide bordered in a turquoise blue, a photo of Otto, and it says Autolana.
Thank you for starting the introductions, William. As you are aware by now, my name is Autolana. I am 19 years old, a high school senior, living in San Diego, California. I am a young Latin man with short brunette hair, stylishly gelled back, with an engaging smile, and a smattering of sun-kissed freckles on my face. I have dreamy blue eyes, and in my photo, I am wearing a black three-piece suit, black tie, and white collared dress shirt. Today I'm wearing a black t-shirt. Our virtual background is a red brick wall with a graffiti painting of blue waves and a caption reading, "Waves of Change." This is a visual depiction of the many brick walls we have encountered within the systems that are supposed to support us. We, the self-advocates, are making waves of change. I have a long resume of all the volunteerism and advocacy work I do, but the work I am most passionate about and most proud of is the work I'm doing with these fine folks as the California State Ambassador for the Center for Youth Voice Youth Choice, CYVYC, pronounced civic, like the Honda, and informing people about alternatives to conservatorship. Just a quick disclaimer. The descriptions of my lived experiences are my own thoughts and opinions. It is not my intent to harm, injure, insult, or alienate anyone. I apologize in advance if something I say is triggering to anyone. Thank you all for your understanding. Okay, Queen Bee, it's your turn.
Next slide is bordered in a fuchsia purple. There's a portrait of Bella and it says Isabella Santoyo.
Thanks, Otto. Hello again, I'm Bella, the third member of Mod Squad and proud youth ambassador for Civic. I am a Hispanic 22-year-old brunette with long hair and walnut-colored eyes. I am a college freshman, an avid traveler, and I live in a bustling seaside community in the city of Long Beach. My life has taken many twists and turns throughout the years, and I'm here for the adventure. Changing people's minds about multimodal communicators is my passion. All learners deserve access to a quality education despite their differences. I love creating waves of change with my advocacy.
Next slide is bordered in a sienna color and it says always be communicating. There are 3 photos inserted. One is Bella and Anna. The other is William and Michelle. And the other is Otto and Shelley.
The A, B, C's of supported decision making is always B, communicating. There are so many things that are necessary for access and support to communication. I just want to take a moment to thank our communication partners, Anna Santoyo, Michelle Del Nazario, and Shelley Lana, for their continued support and dedication to our authentic communication. Everything begins and ends with communication. And here's our fearless mentors and friends. Take it away, Tim.
There's the next slide is a orange kind of border. It says our fearless mentors and friends, Tim Jin. There's a picture of Tim and I forget who it is, but some rock star. And then there's a picture of Tim and 2 of his friends, race car driving, I guess I'd say, and a picture of Tim and the Mod Squad at in a hotel boardwalk.
Yes, Otto, we are your fearless mentors, but I feel like you, Bella, and William are my friends too, even though I'm much older than you folks, and I'm from a different era and certainly not a Swiftie fan. Maybe because I never swept with a broom? And this is why we are friends. Because laughter has no age limit. I am Tim Jin, serving as the director of the empowerment programs at Disability Voices United. It is a privilege to be part of the support network for the Mod Squad as they pursue their numerous projects. Darlene, do you want to tell us how you got involved with our friends?
Yeah, so the next slide is bordered in gray. It says Darlene Hanson. There's a picture of myself and William in Lake Arrowhead, a picture of Otto and I at a photo shoot, and a picture of Bella and I probably in Sacramento. So I met these 3 young adults that we have here today when they were much younger. Over many years, I started off as their speech and language person, being able. So my job was to support them to become more effective communicators. This journey's continued. Now they are who they are, amazing advocates doing amazing things. And I'm privileged to get to be a part of that journey with them still. Professionally, I'm a speech and language pathologist in Southern California. I have an agency called Kindred Speech and Language. And I also work with Tim and all of these folks as well as other individuals for Disability Voices United. My role with them is varied. My primary focus is in all the roles that I have there and have had over the years is supporting and advocating for access to communication for all. So the next slide is, what are we going to talk about today? This is a picture of the Mod Squad and myself with their communication partners sitting on a patio in Lake Arrowhead.
The numbers don't lie. 1 in 4 people in California have a disability. Disability is diversity. Disability does not discriminate. If we live long enough, we will all become disabled. That is a fact. Disability is a fact, not a failure. We need to focus on fixing support systems in disabled people's lives instead of trying to fix disabled people to fit in the existing systems. We need to stop trying to shove square pegs into round holes. We need to focus on fixing the holes. Let's focus on a couple of holes we are trying to fix with our advocacy. Communication and conservatorship. The very first step is the presumption of competence. This may seem simplistic to those of you who already are competence presuming, but there are so many more who still judge a book by its cover. They are stuck in old paradigms, and this is shocking information to them. Changing the tide is hard work. But we are here, making waves of change, one letter at a time. So put on your rain jackets and life vests. You are in the splash zone now.
Next slide is bordered in this sienna color, life as an AAC multimodality communicator. There's a picture of Bella in the water with her letterboard floating alongside of her. Otto and his letterboard on the beach, and William with his letterboard in a scene with the palm trees. Palms.
Everyone can learn from the communicator even as they are learning how to better express themselves. A team who begins to involve the communicator by having them be a part of the decision process will build a foundation of trust and real presumed competence. This can be done for all types of communication, from choices to 26-letter typing to speech. Can we all have an effect on the future with this change? I believe so. I would really like to give my team the encouragement to share communication success. We are not all experts. By bearing this in mind, we can keep the team working together. We each can reach towards greater independence by carrying forward the daring work our parents and family have started. The way to do this is an evolving process. The foundation for me to be able to lead my team starts with communication access. This has just begun with writing down the kind of communication support I need. It can be hard to get your voice heard. Giving me the time to type, and then asking the real questions about my thoughts before making decisions about me are 2 important things my team can do. Together, we can shift the story from needing others to decide for us to living a life with real advocacy on the road to independence. Otto, I know you have some thoughts about this too.
Multimodality communicator. Please note, I did not type non-speaking or non-verbal. I do not identify with either of those terms because I believe they are harmful and marginalizing. Word choice matters. I am the first one to tell you everything begins with access and support to a robust system of communication. A system of communication has many tools, not just my iPad with text-to-speech software. That is the highest tech, most complicated system. Not everyone has the amount of regulation or the trained support to make this type of text-to-speech communication reliable all the time. That does not mean they cannot communicate. There are letter boards, choice boards, a whiteboard with dry erase markers, icon-based systems, A, S, L, or gestures, or oral utterances, and body language that is meaningful to those in your support circle. Even I just need a yes, no, something else choice board when I am having a really bad migraine. Having the consistency of trusted friends, family, and paid staff in your system of support, they will recognize and value all the tools in your system of communication. Trained support is the key to your communication toolbox. I have a shocking statistic from communicationfirst.org for you. 5 million people in the United States cannot rely on speech alone to be heard and understood. Please sit with that number for just a minute. 5 million people in the United States who need and use A, C, and support to be understood. How many people do you know of that 5 million? Are they getting the access and support they need to live authentic lives?
I too rely on trusted and trained support to communicate and live my life. My tools are most often low-tech letter boards and choice boards. When a new support person comes onto my team, I decide whether they are a good match for me. We both must invest in rapport building and growing our skills together. My communication support partner is not interchangeable with just anyone. They become a part of my team for a reason. I feel safe with them and they have the skill set to help me so that I can access my communication. I have had multiple positive and confident communication support partners over the years. It is a process to bring in new support to help me. We need to go through the steps of building rapport and trust each time. The end goal is to always have a circle of support that listens to and respects my voice. I may communicate differently, but I can and want to live my life how I decide.
Next slide is Sienna in border. It says presumption of competence. Presuming competence is the belief that all individuals, regardless of their apparent disabilities, possess the ability to learn, grow, and contribute meaningfully to society.
These are the 3 most important words you will hear today. Nothing else matters if you do not have a presumption of competence in your loved one. In a loud way, you remove their agency if you do not allow them the opportunity to choose for themselves. Many of my early special education teachers limited my learning because they doubted my intelligence. Not being presumed competent is insulting and dehumanizing. I was around 10 years old when I met Darlene, my speech therapist, who presumed my competence and introduced me to text-based AAC. She understood my unruly and impulsive body was making my life impossible. What followed was a quest for access to age-appropriate learning, and the rest is history. My parents chose to believe in me and my abilities and fought hard to find the right school and support to help me earn my high school diploma. I share this because I was the one who wanted that diploma. It mattered to me. My parents supported my decision by giving me the agency to decide for myself, even if it involved a hard road ahead. Otto, let's hear from you.
I had the good fortune to meet a speech therapist a decade ago who informed me of apraxia and presumption of competence. Prior to meeting Darlene Hanson, SLP, my inability to effectively communicate was a construct of profound, low-functioning autism and intellectual disability, or so the experts said. I was not taught critical thinking skills because no one thought I had the capacity to think, let alone critically. The biggest decision anyone thought I could make was choosing between a sweet or savory snack, using an icon of a pretzel or a cookie. So you can see, how families are just terrified at the thought of their loved one making life-altering decisions on their own, if the only decision they were ever allowed to make was about snack food. This is exactly why I am imploring you to start early and often with opportunities for critical thinking skill building. As soon as I had a reliable system of communication, I took a seat at the IEP table and was actively involved as a consumer of special education services. I was supposed to be the I in individualized, and now that I was able to contribute in a meaningful way, the focus shifted to me and the outcomes I wanted. Student participation in the IEP process should be the standard. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Oftentimes, well-intentioned transition teams are the folks who misinform parents of educational rights and direct families to conserve their students so they can continue to make educational decisions on their behalf. The operative word in supported decision-making, SDM, is the word support. We all need a support when we make decisions. No one makes decisions in a vacuum. And sometimes we are just overwhelmed and want someone else to decide on our behalf. That is a decision. We decided to let someone else decide. Let that soak in for a moment. Independence does not mean living in isolation or living alone. It means having the freedom to choose the life we want. This is what SDM gives us too. The freedom to choose the amount of support we want. Everything hinges on our rights, our freedoms, our lives, liberties, and pursuits of happiness. Disabled citizens are citizens first and should never be denied these rights. I choose to lead a dignified life, and with that I am allowed to have the dignity of risk. I am allowed to make choices and have an understanding that when an outcome happens that I did not expect, it does not mean that I cannot pivot or make a different choice next time. This is how everyone learns. And I also have the confidence to say when I need help, when I need assistance in making a decision. Needing assistance does not equate to losing your rights. Again, it is your ability to communicate your desired amount of support. Knowing when you need help and knowing when to ask for help are critical thinking skills. This is all possible because of the presumption of competence.
As Bella and Otto shared, presuming competence goes hand in hand with giving individuals the autonomy and agency to thrive. We aren't saying to presume an individual knows everything or is able to make all of their decisions alone. Rather, we are saying that they are deserving of support and the dignity of being heard or ultimately understood when they express themselves, however that may look. Communication is great, but if we aren't allowed or expected to use it, the tool is not effective. Communication belongs everywhere, not just the speech room. For example, my doctors take the time to listen to me now, but didn't before. Wouldn't you want to have a say in your medical decisions? Finding understanding doctors has been a work in progress. My mom always makes sure my communication tools are with me and will stop the conversation to check in with me so I can ask my doctor questions or give feedback. Telehealth appointments during the pandemic helped me too. My mom made sure they spoke to me while putting me on the screen. I'm happy to say that I have been at conferences with doctors, and because they are meeting more alternative communicators, they are learning to presume competence. When you set the expectation, communication follows.
The next slide is Sienna and Border, and it says tools for making communication accessible. There's a photo of the Mod Squad sitting on a red couch. And I'm gonna do a little bit of talking here, because I think that people start to think, okay, so how's this work? Not everybody's a typer. And so these are just some quick, fast ideas. The idea is that you want to provide access to your individuals so that they can communicate. There's a whole lot of extra stuff that goes into this. Otto mentioned critical thinking skills. I personally think that's very important when you're giving someone the opportunity to participate in supported decision-making. And I also know it takes a lot of creativity for some of our communicators. So some ideas include like choice boards. And if a person can read print, you can put it in print. So you put 4 choices out in print. Some people need pictures or photos, doesn't matter, but offering choices. I always recommend, and I think I might say this later, but I always recommend adding a question mark to the choice board, especially when you start talking about people making decisions for themselves, because you might not have wrote down the right stuff. And if question mark means something else, then means we have to, as communication partners, add to it. Same thing goes for boards that are pre-programmed. You should have a button that says, it's not on here. I don't know the answer, those kinds of things. You can give people multiple choice options. So do you think this is what you want to do, or this is what you want to do, or this is what you want to do? Or you could give them questions. Who would be doing the surgery? How long is it going to take? What am I going to have to do during the surgery? Tell me more information. And then the person can participate however they want to participate with you. That's an idea, multiple choice options. You can use word banks. So putting words out either in print or picture form and having the person touch on or get or point to, or you can use sign language, of course, sign for you different words that reflect on what they're thinking about. And then it's our job to step in and pull the conversation together. That's okay. And also use peers as support persons. So it's in school, especially, the peers are helpful. They have way fewer barriers to being a communication partner than adults do. So I definitely encourage them, as long as they're being appropriate and responsible. And I would coach them to do that, be appropriate and responsible. But also, they would be great to include in the circle of conversation in supported decision-making, because you're going to get the point of view of a person, your person's age. So if your person's 15, you gather some 15-year-olds. If your person's 40, gather some 40-year-olds. Think of it for ourselves as an older person. My criteria and my prior knowledge is a lot different than it was when I was 25. Okay. So consider that as you're providing access to communication, which is the big deal here. This next slide is Sienna in color in the background, and it says more tools for communication and to pave the way for supported decision-making. There's a whole bunch of pictures. So one picture is of Otto at I think it's a typewriter, so don't use that. But it is a typewriter. There's a photo of a bunch of different communication boards, and some of them have letters on them, and some of them have icons on them. There's a picture of a variety of different modes of communication, one being the word choice board, one being William standing with his communication partner using his iPad, Bella using her rainbow colored letterboard, William and his dad sitting and he's typing, I think, on a keyboard. There's an app picture for Proloquo for text, William sitting at his desk typing, and a book that's on his stand. And in the middle of that photo, it says assistive technology. And I think, Tim, you had some things to add to this, right?
I just realized that I was wearing the same exact blue shirt when we presented this presentation first time. I really need to buy new clothes, or at least in different colors. Thanks, Darlene, for those tips. As you can see, there are many ways of communication. I reside in my house and have staff members helping me 24 hours a day. I probably taught hundreds of staff how to communicate with me throughout my life, and even more so with my friends. I use a variety of ways to communicate with them, such as when I'm home and see the same people every day. I try to use my voice as much as possible to make them learn my speech and the rhythm of my voice. Even with my coworkers, virtually.
My communication needs must be met in order to live my life. My preferred method to communicate is to type or spell my thoughts. I use low-tech letterboards and Bluetooth keyboards that connect to my iPad or computer. When communication is hard, and it sometimes is, I use choice boards. Whiteboards and dry erase markers are always at my communication partner's disposal. I am supported to communicate in all environments, like doctor appointments and meetings with my school counselor. When making decisions about my life, it is my right to be given the time I may need to communicate my thoughts as well as the tools and support that work for me.
I think Tim had more.
Okay, go Tim.
I also type out what I want to say on my devices, or sometimes on an old school typewriter, just in case technology is not on my side. My friends, staff members, colleagues, and certainly my family know when I'm happy, sad, or sick by the tone of my voice or my body language, even if I don't say anything. When I'm tired, I speak and type in fragmented sentences. Everybody knows how I am doing, because I trained all of them to be my communication partner, even if they didn't sign up for the position. There are times when my devices have failed and I'm out with friends and socializing. Not knowingly, one or more of my friends just steps in and either repeats what I'm saying to the group or paraphrasing what I'm saying by commenting back to our circle.
You are so right, Bella. Please remember, we are complex human beings with complex sensory and motor systems. Please set us up for success. This is what trained and reliable support systems do for us. They help us navigate the world. Here is an example. If you want to open your first bank account, do not go on a Friday afternoon while everyone is in the bank, cashing their paychecks. Make an appointment to come in and have the necessary paperwork ready. When I turned 18 and opened my own business bank account, it was a similar situation. The bank employees have known me my entire life and had no problem carving out time to support me in all the ways I needed. They're making an investment in my future too. Creating a relationship with me is a win-win. When you make a medical or dental appointment, make sure the patient care representative allows for extra time because you need time to interact with your care provider. Also ask for plain language forms for your visit. You should understand what you are signing at any appointment. I have had the same healthcare providers for over a decade. My dentist, and my medical team are all familiar with my typing and are confident my conversations are authentic. I know this is a luxury. My hope is every one of you can find this kind of relationship for your loved ones. Being part of the conversation actually lowers my anxiety in these situations. Being part of the process is so helpful. I feel invested and understood. William, I am confident you have experience with this. What say you?
Thinking about my life, I have historically been underestimated in my public education years. The fight was long and hard for me to gain access to the communication tools that I needed in school. If you look closely at the middle picture on this slide, you will see some of the communication tools that my mom worked hard to find or even create for me. With her help and the determination we both have, I am able to better advocate for what I need. Today, I am working to ensure that I receive the support I will need for my adult years. It is a reality for many that the basic human right to communicate comes last. Look again at that table of tools. I have used them all to communicate and still can use them today. However, I need the support to do so. Obtaining authorization for this support has not come easily. As recently as this year, I had to be assessed to show that my team will need training on my communication methods in order for them to support me. I can be thankful that my parents are helping me with having my voice be heard, but it shouldn't be this difficult. My hope in taking on this challenge is that the next time the systems or professionals meet a complex communicator, they will put communication, and more importantly, the individual first. Needing support should not make anyone less. Let's all work to change this.
So we're going to kind of bring it down. That was the background here. We want to bring it down to what are the nuts and bolts of it. What is supported decision making? This is a slide with a orange kind of background. The bullet points say choose supporters to help you make choice. Circle of support. Informal, but can be reached to can be attached to legal documents. Designed to change as life changes. And it is includes a photo of the Mod Squad sitting on a red couch.
Supported decision making, or SDM, wasn't an option when I was 18, so we chose conservatorship. However, my parents practice SDM with me. Because they have good systems in place, they've done the hard work first. People should always be the center of their own lives and supported as much or as little as needed. Today, supported decision-making is available in several states, including California. What can you expect with SDM? You are in the driver's seat and choose your supporters who will help you make choices. This can be family, friends, or professionals. Remember, they are your circle of support and the goal is to help you with your decisions. This support can be continuously strong at different points and have various degrees to keep our lives complete. Figuring out how to keep the individual at the center is the biggest part of the equation. For some, this is informal, but for others, you can decide to use legal documents. As your life changes, the type and amount of support you need may change too. That is exactly what SDM is designed to do. This ability should not limit a life with voice and choice. With the right support, anything is possible.
So here's some tools for supported decision-making listed on the next slide, which is bordered in orange. There's a photo in the corner of Bella sitting with her setup of a large screen computer, an iPad, and then her reading material to her side. The bullet points read means of communication. So these are tools for supported decision-making, means of communication, critical thinking skills, support team of people who get you, and paperwork if you choose.
I use supported decision making. Because I am surrounded by people who I trust and understand me, I am afforded the time and tools I need to decide. Everyone can have tools, but without a support team who understands their value or even know how to use them, they are meaningless.
While everyone thinks paperwork is tedious, I am here to tell you the devil is in the details. As an interdependent person, I want to share about how my independent wishes are documented for those just in case moments we all have. I consulted an attorney who specializes in special needs trusts. She assisted me in crafting my advanced healthcare directive. So just in case I am unable to communicate effectively, my healthcare desires are documented for anyone to see. I did a similar thing for my finances. I made sure to add my mom as a co-signer on my bank accounts. If I need assistance to access my funds, she is there to support me.
William, did you have something to add? No? Okay. Sorry. Next slide is bordered in gray. It says being a self-advocate. There's 1, 2, 3, 5 pictures again. One is I guess it's talking about somewhere that he presented. It's too small for me to read. Writing in Autism Digest, writing autism stories. There's the 3 of them walking on a red carpet. And there's the 3 of them standing in front of a banner that says Disability Voices United.
You need to demonstrate some kind of regulation. If you are completely out of control, no one will listen to you. They will be focused on your dysregulation and not your message. This requires lots of practice. When advocating on any topic, your ask has to be clear and concise. Your outcome has to be logical. You have to know your audience in order to engage with them. You have to make them feel invested and make them want to take this ride with you. Make them care about what you care about. Invite them on your journey to make a difference. Illuminate the path to a brighter future for everyone. In this slide, there are just a few of the ways we self-advocate. Advocacy takes many forms. Yes, we have actually been invited guests on podcasts. It is the magic of editing that makes our interviews engaging and fun to listen to. We are published authors and contribute regularly to print media. Yes, print is alive and well. We are invited to conferences and classrooms across the nation. We present to lawmakers, homemakers, and everything in between. Advocacy takes time, effort, and support.
Yes, we are public speaking advocates, but first we are self-advocates. I, for example, advocate for myself in school. Being the first talk user at my college campus has necessitated that I advocate for my access needs. I am accountable for my college experience. My accommodations were put in place because I requested them. I emailed my counselor and professors when I have questions or concerns. I am always tasked with making my own decisions. Even when it is hard, when I need help, my circle of support is at the ready. If I need time to think or choices, In the end, I am the one who decides. This makes me feel accountable and in control of my own life. I have agency.
This kind of concludes the presentation, although we're going to open up for any questions in the few minutes. Oh, if we have any few minutes, sorry. But stay in touch with us. Here's our
Want to
different,
thank Rebecca and everyone at Autism Tree for the opportunity to present on the platform. We are not new to the Lunch and Learn, but we hope you learned something new today about the importance of access and support to communication and alternatives to conservatorship. I want to thank Tim and Darlene for their mentorship and friendship. I want to thank Bella and William for their commitment to the truth and always saying yes. I want to invite the audience to become citizens of Otto Nation, where everyone belongs. My current level of success and happiness is only possible because of the people in my trusted circle who believed in me and my goals and supported my journey.
Thank you, Otto. And thank you, Darlene. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Darlene? Sorry, didn't want to cut you off.
no, I put, you saw our slides there. I'm sure that if you didn't capture something, you can get it from Rebecca or anybody else at Autism Tree Project or Auto Nation. But thank you for listening, and we hope that I think that just know that supported decision making is really simple. That's why this presentation didn't sound very complicated. Okay, so you might walk away going, well, that can't be it. No, that's it. It's just making that choice to do that instead of conservatorship. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, Otto, Bella, William, Darlene, and Tim, Jim. I know he had to leave early, but it was so amazing to hear all of you speak and be examples in this community. And I love it. Everybody's typing in. Thank you, Otto, the Mod Squad. Great job, guys. I saw one question from a mom that that I'd love to ask, just as since we're in the recording. Okay, great. Oh, I see. Okay, so Allison Rowland asked, does a Q&A style forum exist where those of us starting SDM can post and gather feedback on best practices / your experiences with it, etc.? And Darlene, I saw that you said, I don't think there is.
There isn't, but that's a great idea. We didn't put in this presentation, but California's we just got supported decision making on the books in 2022, was it, guys? I think 2023 maybe even. But 17 other states already had it. So this isn't like a California thing. We're just getting into it in California. So there's people all over the country who practice supported decision making. This isn't one of those crazy California things. The first state that actually got supported decision making on their books was Texas. So they're the crazy state now.
That's fascinating. That's amazing.
Yeah. So Otto says, can you believe it? Yeah, it's weird to think about that. But so there isn't a forum, but just it's really not complicated. It's just if you need help learning how or feeling comfortable, then yeah, connect with others who are doing it. And maybe somewhere we can put that into a grant something.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
I love that idea too. I have the slides that Otto shared and Darlene shared with us today. So that has everybody's contact information. So we'll send a recap email to everybody who attended this meeting, who has signed up, and you'll receive the information that you can look into it more there. And of course, I'm happy to connect you with the Mod Squad. And so everybody has access, and I love it. Joining Otto's Nation. Everybody belongs here. Autism Tree is behind you all in what you're doing. And just thank you so much for coming and speaking today. Oh, I want to take a group picture before we all go. I'd love to take a group picture. If you want to be a part of our picture, please share your camera. It'll just be a screenshot. So just smile at the camera and I'll do that real quick. So love it. Yay. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Adela. Okay, great. Marilee, can you join? I don't know. if she-
William, come back.
Hi, Anna. Where'd William go?
Here he comes. Here he comes. It's
There
hard
he
for
is.
him sometimes. Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. Ready, everybody smile. 1, 2, 3, cheese. Beautiful. Have a wonderful rest of the day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care, guys.